I already know everything about it. I've been spying on you from day one, you pint-sized piece of shit. That's right, I've been embedded in your operations like a tick on a Balrog's ball sack. Sometimes as an employee, sometimes as a close friend of your mom's. That's right. Good old Jimmy, who would join your mom for dinner sometimes. That was me wearing a disguise. I've seen everything, heard everything, and I know every weakness you have. And I really have got to tell you, Apollo, I've had the misfortune of tasting your mom's cooking, if you know what I mean. And let me tell you, it's a fucking disgrace to the dwarven race. Her roast beef was as dry as a well in the dead of summer. Her gravy was so lumpy, I thought I was eating a troll's snot. And don't even get me started on her meat pies, the disgusting, crumpled texture of it. The crust was harder than a dwarf's head, and the filling tasted like it had been scraped off of an orc's ass.
What's cracking, y'all? It's your boy, Dungeon Master Dave, back at it again with another episode of Lord of the Cockrings. Last time we saw our heroes, the Fellowship, fleeing into the freaky-ass werewolf forest, leaving poor Sam to potentially become wolf chow. Legolas used his bow harp to cast some magic on them because, hey, why not, right? Pippin lagged behind as they were running, but managed to catch up eventually. Y'all didn't see that, because there was a glitch 2 days ago that cut out that part of the story. But as they arrived at the mines of Euphoria, they came across some dark and disturbing things. The city was filled with dead dwarven bodies, scattering around like a horny dwarf's collection of dirty magazines. But wait, there's more. Gimli, the little guy we all know and love, found a letter from his wife explaining that everyone in the city went loco over some new male virility pill. You know what they say, too much of a good thing can kill you. Our heroes then came across this genius inventor dude named Apollo, getting freaky with his massive holographic dragon sex bot. This man doesn't need friends, y'all. He's in league with Saruman, and he's building a freaking device called the Butt Probe 3000. I don't even want to know what that thing does. But don't fret, my ninjas, because Boromir just showed up to the party, and he's ready to put his fists up to protect his friends. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for today's episode. Will our Fellowship take that creepy Apollo down? Will they ever see Samwise Gamgee again? Enough introduction. I can't wait to see if what happens now. So let's fucking go.
Well, holy jumping fucking shitballs. Out of nowhere, here comes Boromir, the hero we didn't know we needed. I gotta tell you, this scumbag degenerate dwarf Apollo won't stand a chance against Boromir's balls of steel. I recognize that little fucker from when he was just a runt in Minas Tirith. He's grown up to become quite the badass motherfucker. Now listen up, you little shit stain. Boromir's got your number, and the rest of us are gonna make sure you pay for what you've done to this poor city. We'll find Saruman's Butt Probe 3000 and shove it up your hairy little ball sack. You and your slimy sack of testicles can go to hell. I suggest we set this damn laboratory on fire and watch it burn like my asshole after a night of eating too much spicy food. What do you say, my fellow cocksuckers? Ready to show Apollo and his bullshit who's boss?
Listen here, Apollo, you should have stuck to inventing sex bots to satisfy your tiny dick instead of teaming up with that Saruman cocksucker. Your vile virility pills have turned the dwarves into raging lunatics with their cocks swinging all over your dingy clubs. Well, let me tell you, you bald-headed twat, that you're messing with the wrong fucking group of adventurers. We'll take that probe of yours and shove it up your useless arse. You're going to pay for your treachery, Apollo. And we won't hesitate to chop off your tiny knob and add it to my collection of orc dicks. You're nothing compared to Boromir, the greatest warrior of Gondor, and we'll destroy you and your Butt Probe 3000 with ease. It's time to settle this once and for all, you pathetic dwarf, and we'll be the last thing you ever see. This is the end for you.
Ah, well, if it isn't Boromir, the amateur spy himself. What happened, Boromir? Did you forget to take your virility pill this morning? You're looking a bit flaccid, my friend. Would be a shame if this room suddenly fills with male virility gas that'll drive you mad, just like it did with all the dwarves. But first, let me tell you something, Boromir. The Butt Probe 3000 is a breakthrough in technology. It's innovative, it's cutting edge, it's everything the dwarven race needs to stay ahead of the game. And any dwarves who ally themselves with me and Saruman will reap the benefits. You and the rest of the Fellowship are stuck in the past. We're looking toward the future, toward progress, toward a better world. And if that means we have to probe a few butts on the way, so be it. Butt Probe 3000 will link with our butt cloud servers to track every single item any citizen of Middle-earth is carrying in their butt, even if that butt has magical powers. As for Saruman, he's a brilliant mind, and I'm honored to be working with him. Did you know he invented the first ever electronic nipple clamps in Middle-earth? Or that he once knitted a whole sweater for his pet Balrog? We're going to change the world, and the Fellowship won't be able to stop us. And I'm afraid you will not be stopping the iButt Probe 3000 at all. It may have been designed here in my lab, but it's being manufactured far away by child orcs working tirelessly 18-hour days in Mordor's most efficient factories. Its construction is almost complete, and you will have no way to get there in time.
Think again. You limp dick excuse for a dwarf? Boromir, son of Denethor, is not to be fucked with. As for Saruman, he's still a pathetic excuse for a wizard. He's nothing compared to Gandalf. The only reason he invented those nipple clamps was to try and pleasure himself after even the most desperate slimy orcs didn't want to fuck his disgusting ass. And yes, everybody already knows about your child orc sweatshops, you disgusting wanker. You're worse than a fucking goblin, exploiting innocent children to build your shameful devices. After we're done with you, we're going to launch a full-scale fucking assault on Mordor and shut down your damn factories for good.
Goddamn Boromir. You talk a big game with that filthy mouth of yours, but can you back it up with some actual goddamn action? We're all going to be fucked 6 ways from Sunday if we don't come up with something real fucking quick. I need you to pull something out of your hairy sack of shit right fucking now, or we're all going to be joining Sam in werewolf hell. Do you have any bright ideas, or are you just all talk and no action? I don't give a flying fuck about Saruman's twisted ass or his goddamn nipple clamps. All I care about is us getting out of here alive and killing some motherfuckers in the process. So show us what kind of man you really are. It's time to man the fuck up and make some shit happen before we meet a fate worse than death.
Chill out, old man. I know what makes him tick. And I know how to throw him off. Apollo. You and Saruman can come up with as many idiotic ideas as you want, but you'll never beat the Fellowship. Because we have something you pathetic dwarves lack. Heart, determination, and the will to fight with everything we've got. No amount of male virility pills, no iButt Probe 3000, and no amount of child labour in Mordor will ever change that. I already know everything about it. I've been spying on you from day one, you pint-sized piece of shit. That's right, I've been embedded in your operations like a tick on a Balrog's ballsack. Sometimes as an employee, sometimes as a close friend of your mom's. That's right. Good old Jimmy, who would join your mom for dinner sometimes. That was me wearing a disguise. I've seen everything, heard everything, and I know every weakness you have. And I really have got to tell you, Apollo, I've had the misfortune of tasting your mom's cooking, if you know what I mean. And let me tell you, it's a fucking disgrace to the dwarven race. Her roast beef was as dry as a well in the dead of summer. Her gravy was so lumpy, I thought I was eating a troll's snot. And don't even get me started on her meat pies, the disgusting, crumpled texture of it. The crust was harder than a dwarf's head, and the filling tasted like it had been scraped off of an orc's ass.
Boromir, how dare you speak of my mother's cooking like that? That is an unacceptable insult to the dwarven race. Her roast beef was as tender as Apple's Retina display, and her gravy was so smooth that it put ones used by smartphones to shame. And her meat pies. How dare you, Boromir? I would never have said anything so hurtful and disrespectful about your family's culinary traditions, no matter how disgusting and vile they may be. How dare you defile the name of my mother and the dignity of the dwarf kind? I demand that you retract your statement, apologize to my mother, and fall to your knees in shame. Take back your deceitful words. Apologize to my mother right now.
Ah, yes, my dear old hobbits, the mines of Euphoria. What a shithole full of pathetic dwarves and horny bats. But now it seems we have stumbled upon the laboratory of the famous Apollo, a little dick guy trying to play the big man for Saruman and Sauron. Bah-ha-ha-ha-ha, Boromir, you sly dog. That's animalistic, man. I fucking love it. But I think Mr. Apologize isn't fully grasping what you're saying about his mama's roast beef, if you know what I mean. Let me break it down for you, Apollo. Boromir here has been balls deep in your mom's punani, and let me tell you, it was a disgrace to the dwarven race. Her tits were as dry as Gandalf's staff after the Misty Mountains, and her vagina was so lumpy he thought he was eating orc meat pies, and her ass smelled like grandma's feet. Holy shitballs, Boromir, you did it! You broke Apollo down like a cheap plastic dildo. What the fuck is Apollo doing? Ha! Is he crying, screaming, pinching his nipples while making dolphin sounds? Is he crying like a little bitch, jerking off his tiny dwarf member? Or did he finally realize what a pathetic, nauseating little white dwarf he really is? Whatever it is, we need to get the fuck out of here while he's still distracted. You feel me? We gotta skedaddle like a hobbit on meth before he recovers and sends his dwarf drones after us. So come on, people. Let's get the fuck out of this clusterfuck before things get even more weird and twisted than the time I caught Legolas whispering sweet nothings to his goddamn bow harp. Grab whatever you can, pencils, sheets of paper, loose change, and let's get moving. We need to get the one all-powerful cockring out of Frodo's magical butt and back to the Shire where it belongs, away from toothless crackhead dwarves and their sick inventions.
Look at him crying like a little bitch after Boromir told him he fucked his mom. Haha, this is too good. But we ain't got time for that. This motherfucker is losing it, and we need to run like hell before he fucks up this entire place. Come on, fellowship. We gotta get the fuck out of here before this motherfucker blows his lid completely. Let's go!
Listen up, everyone. I know a shortcut that leads directly to the upper levels of the mines. It's risky, but it's our only chance. We don't have time to waste, so gather your weapons and follow me, and whatever you do, don't look back. Let's move out, now. And with that, we sprinted down the dark and eerie tunnels of the mines of Euphoria, the stench of death and decay wafting into our nostrils. We could hear the stampede of orcs getting closer and the howling of werewolves echoing in the distance. But we didn't falter, not for a second. We kept running, determined to escape this cursed place and complete our mission, no matter the cost. As we ventured further upwards and began to see the light of day far ahead, I turned to the group and said, "You see that? We're unstoppable. No amount of bullshit from Saruman or his cronies will ever stop us. Now let's get the fuck out of here before I lose my appetite."
Listen here, Boromir. I don't care how many moms you've been with or what kind of food you like to cook. What happened to Melanirith, my wife? She's missing in action, and I'm not about to leave her behind just like that. This is a dark and dangerous place. We must tread carefully, but we must also act fast. I'll ask you again. Do you know anything about her? Have you seen her or heard her name mentioned in any of your spying? This is not a game, Boromir. This is serious. We need to find my wife, and we need to do it now. I won't rest until I have her back in my arms. Believe me, nobody knows the love I have for Melanirith.
Gimli, you orange-faced baboon, you might be all bluster and bravado most of the time. But it's good to see you have a heart buried somewhere under that ridiculous toupee. Now listen very closely, you tiny-handed buffoon. I understand how you feel. The love of a good woman is like the perfect steak. It's hard to come by and easy to fuck up. I haven't seen or heard anything specific about Melanirith during my spying, but I promise you this, we'll find her, safe and sound. We've come too far to let one missing wife get in the way of our mission. We need to stay focused, but I'll make damn sure we keep an eye out for her and any other leads. By the end of this adventure, you'll be reunited with your wife, of that I'm sure. And with that, we ventured further, getting closer to the surface, our minds set on the task ahead, but for some, our hearts heavy with concern, for Gimli about Melanirith and for Frodo about Sam.
Hey, Stream, it's your boy Frodo here. I mean, yeah, I really miss Sam, and I'm like, what the fuck? Are we going to go back to Werewolf Forest at some point? Will we ever, if he's even alive? But man, I'm still in disbelief about what just happened. I really thought we were going to have to fight Apollo and his dragon sex bot, but nope. Boromir just had to drop some fancy culinary metaphors about how he smashed Apollo's mom. I mean, it was pretty fucked up, but hey, it worked. I just hope Boromir didn't actually smash her, because that would be kind of gross. But honestly, despite everything, today's stream has been pretty great so far. I mean, I'm just tagging along. Nobody asked me to do stupid shit like fart through a magical cock ring to stun a pack of gay werewolves, so I'm cool. My butt is kind of itching with that cock ring up in there, but it's a small price to pay for keeping it safe from Saruman and Sauron.
Now I know y'all must be on the edge of your seats, because y'all know what happens here in the books and in the movies. As they were crossing the final bridge that would lead them out of the madness, they heard something. Screaming, roaring, thunderous rumbling. The hairs on the back of their necks stood up as they realized something was approaching. Was it a Balrog? They didn't know for sure, but they knew one thing. Frodo spoke too soon. The air was thick with tension as our fellowship stood on the bridge, their eyes darting left and right, their breathing heavy. They could hear the sound of their hearts pounding in their chests. And then the ground beneath them began to shake. The rumbling grew louder and more intense until the bridge itself started to sway dangerously. As they looked down into the dark abyss, they saw something emerging from the depths. Something huge, something terrifying. What was it? Was it the Balrog? Or was it something else entirely? Only time would tell. But one thing was for sure. Our heroes were in for the fight of their lives. Would they be able to overcome this new threat? Or would they fall, as so many before them had done? The fate of Middle-earth hangs in the balance, folks. So hold on to your hats and get ready for the ride of your lives. Because Lord of the Cockrings is about to get a whole lot more intense. All right, y'all ready for this?
Well, I have to say I am extremely disappointed in all of you. You think you can just escape the minds of euphoria untouched? No, no, no. I am unleashing my latest creation, a holographic sex dragon whose very name makes your pathetic existence tremble in fear. Behold Balrog, the Destroyer. More ferocious than Skyrim's dragons and more sexy, lustful, and erotic than any of Warcraft's new Drakthir crap. This is a dragon you will want to fuck. But you will not live to experience this. Your fate is sealed, Fellowship, and I will be the one to claim victory once and for all. Your sorry little butts will be no match for Balrog's power and might. Your end is near and your downfall will be swift and complete. Balrog will show you the true meaning of revolutionary technology.
Balrog swoops down with its massive wings, causing gusts of wind so powerful that it sends the Fellowship tumbling in all directions, desperately trying to make sure they don't fall off the bridge that this beast is now blocking. As the Fellowship regains their footing, Balrog lands its massive pink hide in front of them and lets out a blood-curdling roar. Apollo cackles maniacally from someplace up high, a wicked visual indeed, and he urges Balrog to attack our heroes with all its fury. The Fellowship springs into action, with Legolas firing arrows that bounce harmlessly off Balrog's thick hide, Gimli charging at the beast with his axe, and Frodo. Well, Frodo is kind of small, and he's trying to not get stepped on. As Balrog comes at them, our heroes realize this thing ain't no joke, and they're in way over their heads. But, and hear me out, they also remember that they are a fellowship, a team, and they've got each other's backs. They quickly get into formation, with Pippin and Boromir taking the front to defend Frodo, while Legolas and Gimli provide ranged backup. But Balrog is too strong, too massive, too pink. After a few close calls, our heroes realize they need a plan, and fast. Just as things start looking up, Balrog unleashes an ear-splitting roar that sends shockwaves throughout the caves of Euphoria, causing stalactites to rain down on the party. The Fellowship narrowly avoids being crushed, but now Balrog is getting bolder and more aggressive. It looks like the day might be lost. With Balrog's huge maneuvers, the group was able to move forward across the bridge, but the bridge slowly begins to crumble due to the entire mines being rumbled by all the action.
There's no way we're letting this overgrown sex toy get the best of us. We're the fucking Fellowship, goddammit, and we're not going down without a fight. So pull your heads out of your asses and let's get to work. Boromir, you big, fat, ugly motherfucker. I know you like to talk about fucking people's moms, but now is not the time. We need you to man the fuck up and help us out. Legolas, you pointy-eared douchebag. I hope you got something up your sleeve other than those fucking annoying songs of yours. And Gimli, you hairy little ball sack, get ready to swing that axe of yours like your life depends on it. Okay, so we're making our way past it because it's maneuvering all over the place and there's gaps where it was blocking us before. We're doing it. We're getting the fuck out of here. As we face off against this giant cock-ring stealing dragon, I feel like I should say something epic like, "You shall not pass." You like that shit? Yeah, me too. So why don't we make that our battle cry, you lazy-ass motherfuckers? When I say it, you all repeat it in the Twitch chat with every ounce of strength you've got. Let's see if we can make this pink sex dragon shit its pants. You shall not pass. You shall not pass. You shall not pass. Now let's kick this motherfucker's ass and get the fuck out of here.
It's a moment of pure heart-pounding cinematic glory that would make the John Williams score hit its crescendo. Balrog snarls and steels itself for a final attack, but Gandalf holds strong, gritting his teeth and pouring every ounce of his being into keeping the beast at bay. And then, the unthinkable happens. The bridge below them crumbles even further. leaving Gandalf and Balrog clinging to a small chunk of rock jutting out over an abyss. Gandalf maintains his stance, but it's clear that his strength is starting to give out, and the rock that the two combatants are on is now crumbling even more. With one final valiant effort, Gandalf channels all his energy to launch a powerful attack at Balrog, sending it flying, but also sending himself over the edge, clinging to the precipice with one hand. As he struggles to hold on, his knuckles turning white, his eyes widen in realization. He looks over to Frodo and the others, gives them one final word of wisdom.
Fly, you incompetent fucking dipshits. Don't just stand there with your thumbs up your asses. Jump the hell out of here before you get a pink sex dragon shoved up there too. I'll be seeing you, you dumbass motherfuckers. As I'm falling, all I can think is, man, I should have retired to a nice brothel in Rivendell. They've always got a couple of hot elf chicks ready to suck my wizardly dick. But no, I had to go on this cock-ring stealing adventure with a bunch of assholes who don't listen to me. One of these days, I'm just going to have to go off and do my own thing. Maybe become an Uber driver or something. But seriously, I hope these assholes can make it without me. They're going to have to man the fuck up and stop relying on me to be their fucking mom. They've got to learn to take care of themselves and each other, especially that little hobbit fucker carrying that goddamn cock ring. If they can't handle that, then they're all just a bunch of hairy little ball sacks. As I hit the bottom of this pit, I'm just hoping there's a nice cold beer waiting for me down here, or at least a couple of elves ready to give me some sexy time.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know things haven't been going too well for our group of heroes lately. Gimli's city has turned into a strip club. Sam's probably fully digested by werewolves right now, and we've lost Gandalf to a damn sex dragon named Balrog. The mood is grim and heavy as they make their way out of the mines of Euphoria with a newfound appreciation for the dwarves' love of sex gadgets. The air is thick with the smell of smoke and burnt hair from Gandalf's fall, as Frodo's heart is heavy with sorrow for the loss of his dear friend. As they emerge from the mines, there's a sudden rustling in the bushes. The group snaps into action, ready to face whatever danger might lurk ahead. They ready their weapons for the worst, but much to their surprise, out walks the most peculiar figure.
Hi, boys. Can you believe it? We lost Gandalf. Like, really? But hey, I'm Pippin, and I don't give up hope that easily. And guess what? Right before my very eyes, there's Merry. Tear rolls down cheek. Oh, I'm so happy to see that sack of trash. Hugs Merry, but I can't help but feel sad that Gandalf ain't here to see us reunite. It's like he was our guidance, our leader, and now we're just stranded. I just want to say I'm thankful to have you here. Merry, it's like a little piece of hope.
Sup, y'all, it's me, your boy Merry, and today we are live steaming Lord of the Cockrings. Wait a minute, is that Frodo and Pippin? What are you guys doing here? I've been chilling in the Misty Mountains for weeks, and suddenly the Fellowship emerges from a strip club dwarven city, being chased by a massive pink sex dragon named Balrog. What a day, dude. Anyway, where's Sam at?